I'm here to talk about the big picture, reading. And we love to communicate. That is one thing that we can agree on, right? We just love to communicate through pictures and stories. While from the drawings found in the caves of Indonesia some 50 years ago, that are about 40,000 years old, to our modern iPhones and smartphones that we take pictures from. We just love a good picture and we love to communicate. From the Sumerian system for sounds to the Greeks and Roman writing system, we still just want to communicate. So, but before I tell you about the big picture, come with me. We're going on a journey. Hop aboard the imaginary machine. We are going to the Queen of the Indies, the land of the palm and the tree ferns, the pride of the blue Caribbean Sea. We're there. Let's disembark. Walk with me at the side of the mountain, under the tall green trees, where the mantle of green knoweth no winter. We're there, at the top of the mountain. Whew, that was a walk. Well, let's go this way. What a beautiful stone wall. Wow, listen, listen. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ah, look over there. Meh, meh. Moo. Mm. Oh, what a magnificent creature. Ah, ee. Wow, and the pathway with such beautiful periwinkles and butterflies. Oh my goodness, right at my feet. Meow, meow. There is the house. That's where we're going. Woof, 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 woof. Luther Pink and his wife and 5 children lives there. Well, Ashton Ralph da Costa Douglas Garrison, his oldest child. Ah, he's a bastard child. You heard me right. For 1908, a child born out of wedlock was considered a bastard child. Well, this is a story. Luther called his son Ivan and his bastard son, stepson, Ralph, and he said, boys, I want you to go across the mountain about 4 miles away. I want you to bring me back that horse. Don't ride it. Walk the horse back. Well, of course, the boy said, what a stupid idea. Walk a horse back when we can ride it? So, of course, the boys rode the horse, and Ralph fell off the horse. Now, he lay there unconscious God knows how long. But when he came to it, he went on home. Luther was so mad that he had disobeyed him. He gave him a good whipping. He didn't even take him to the doctor. Okay. Well, time passed and poor Ralph, he didn't do so well in school. He didn't read so well. Well, teachers say, can we help? Luther says, what? No, 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 that boy don't need no help. He'll be all right. Well, Ralph graduated from school, and he didn't read so well. He went to the city, and he met a professor who helped him to read. Yes, he read a little bit, but not so good. He married a woman, and he had 2 beautiful children. He decided to take his wife and his 2 girls to the country, and he built a house. And he made sure that that house was filled with books. He was going to educate his children. They were going to read. That man, that bastard child is my father. 2 years passed. I turned 7, and I went to school. It was time to go to school. In 1 year, I made it through 3 grades. On the 3rd grade, my teacher said to me, and I can remember that day, "Vinnette, your spelling is atrocious." Wow, that made a wound, a feeling, a sadness, an embarrassment. A wound that would heal into a scar that I would carry through life, wondering, how would I overcome this? In that same class, there was a boy, a handsome lad. Oh yes, he could draw. He could really draw. I learned to draw from this young man. But he couldn't read. And when he was asked to read aloud, kids laughed at him. Teachers did nothing about it. And I felt that. I knew how that felt. And I was going to make a difference. Well, I did well in primary school, exceptionally well. And I went on to high school. And on my way to school every morning, I would pick my book up, my dictionary, and I was going to learn a word every day. I noticed next to those words were symbols. Symbols, funny looking things. Upside down V, backwards C, horseshoe. And I was curious, what are these things? Anyway, I graduated from high school and I went to college. Still want to read and spell better. I made A's. I took speed reading classes. I made the honor roll semester after semester. But for me, reading was a job. It wasn't a joy. I graduated and I went on to Florida State University. And I studied audiology and speech pathology. I worked with the human mind, the brain. I understood how it communicated, how it functioned, how it sees, how it hears, how it processes information. And yes, I figured out what those funny little symbols were. They were the International Phonetic Alphabet. And if only other teachers could know what these were and were able to give it to their children, and if children in high school knew what they were, they would be able to read and spell, of course. But, you know, I was going to do different. So I positioned myself into the public school. My first job, California, Crestwood Elementary School. There, the children had childhood aphasia. That meant that they had an injury to their brain. This injury affected the area of language. That meant that they were not going to process, read, write, spell, and they were going to have behavior problem as well as attention deficit. Okay, well, I wondered, I had questions. Did the boy who fell off the horse had childhood aphasia? What was the diagnosis of that handsome lad in my class? And was it a problem of auditory conceptualization, a problem of processing and making the precise judgment as to where a sound is in a word? Well, that was more questions than answers. My Caymanian husband took his wife and 2 children to the Cayman Islands, and we built a house. And the house, I made sure that my girls were going to be educated. They were going to be able to read, spell, and have command of the English language. Well, I got a job, and I wondered to myself, how amazing. Just like my daddy, I was going to educate my kids. And how family, teachers, and the environment can shape the life of a child. I got a job in the school system working as a speech and language pathologist. looking at children language and speech, and I discovered the big picture. Yes, and not to make lightly the communication system that has been done by a great many people, that we can communicate, read and write. But there are 775 million people in our world today that cannot read and write, and more. And maybe, just maybe, we can make a difference. One little difference. Can you remember coming to the top of the mountain and hearing the animals? Did you make an imaginative picture in your mind of the sound you heard? I bet you all did. And did you take just the feet and associated it with the sound? No, you didn't. Did you just take a part of that animal, the tail, and associated it with the sound? I bet you didn't. And did you just take the head later on and make the association of the cat in your mind? No, you didn't. You form a picture of that whole cat in your mind when I made that sound. Well, this is what traditional reading have done for us. It has taken the sounds, and we have 26 letters of the alphabet and 44 sounds that we use in our English language. And what we have done is we give children a little bit here in grade 1, and we give little kids in grade 2 another set of sounds, the same sound, but different symbols, and we wait till grade 6 to give them the rest of it, but we expect them to read by grade 4. Now, I want to show you what I'm talking about. Capital J, lowercase j. Teacher says write it. But before I get into it, I want to let you all pretend that you are in grade 1. And over here, we got Jack. And then we've got George. And then we've got Roger. Now, Jack is going to jump up and down and says, J begins my name. My name begins with J. It makes the sound J. And he is also proud. Now, it will take poor little George to say, my name begins with J too, because G-E, G-I, G-Y is not being taught until you're in grade 3. Okay? Now, poor little Roger over there, he is never going to know or feel proud like Jack that his name has the sound J in it, because he's not going to be told that D-G-E makes the sound J until he's in grade 6. Now, how do we expect him to read? By grade 4, fluently, if he doesn't know the sound associated with the symbols. We are being taught from we are born, A, B, C, D. They sing it to us. What's good is A, B, C. We do not speak with ABCs. Listen what I'm going to say to you. W-H-E-N-N-O-T-H-I-N-G, G-O-I-N-G, R-I-G-H-T, G-O-L-E-F-T. We don't talk like that. We make the association with sound. The only time we talk like that is when we don't want our kids to know what we're saying. Well, I have a story I want to share with you. Most recently, a young lad, handsome, like the one I met when I was 7 years old. He walked into my office with his mom, and I couldn't read. He draws very well. Deja vu. But now I had the big picture, and I was going to share it with him. So I asked him. I said to him one day, I said, now, here is J, the letter J symbol, and here's a list of words. I want you to draw the picture of the J symbols in this picture frame. Well, I want you to color it. No, I didn't tell him I want him to color it. He said to me, Mom, can I color it? I said, certainly you can color it. He says, and can I put it anyhow I want across in the picture frame? I said, certainly you can draw it anyhow you want to. And so he gave me this beautiful picture. I said to him, now, can I show it to the people I'm going to talk to? He said, yes. I said, but I need your mom permission. He said, she doesn't have to give you permission. I can give you permission, it's my picture. I do it. But I said, but sweetheart, I'm going to tell him you can't read. And he said, that's okay. You're going to teach me to read, and I'm going to read. And he took my breath away. And he said, later on, tomorrow when I come back, can I find the letter symbols in the words? And I go, wow, yes, you certainly can. You have done it, boy. We are going to read. Now, if the boy who fell off the horse had this, would it make a difference? If the boy who was in my class when I was 7 years old, just like this handsome lad that I'm now teaching, would it make a difference? I'm sure it would. It makes a difference in my life. Well, the journey is over. We must return. Hop aboard the imaginary machine. We're back. And before I go, allow me to tell you how happy I am to have discovered the big picture and to have designed a program that will change the life of children. One that, although it challenges the status quo, I think it is logical, and I wonder why it's not the norm. And instead of pain, sadness, embarrassment, and scars to carry through life, it brings joy, happiness, and even allow a child to somersault. I read for life, and I can spell much better. All because I have discovered how to organize the sounds associated with the letter symbols and present them in a fun way, in stories and imagination. Thank you.